Just one doorway, trust me. Otherwise the story doesn't work.
Okay, we will reach in the editing suite and then we'll talk about this.
I don't.
Right?
No.
With no time to spare, Elevate finally finished their shoot.
Well done. Well done.
Teams must now head to their editing suites, where they will work into the night perfecting their adverts.
How's it going? All right.
I think that the concept that we have is very strong and very good. A couple of little concerns, obviously, about it, but nothing that I don't think that could stop us from winning it.
Okay. So she walks in with this new coffee machine and plants it on the table in the apartment.
Yeah. Exceptional.
I like that one.
That's nice.
We're getting very fucking arty, aren't we?
I hope I'm in the winning team. This should be my task, and I should be able to produce something better than Kira, Jamie, and Michelle all together.
Having worked through the night, the teams arrive at the cinema, dressed to impress, ready to reveal their adverts. Apart from presenting to a packed theatre, they must win over Philip McCabe and John Hollings, who set the task, and also Owen Rickson, the General Manager of Carlton Screen Advertising. Michelle leads the presentation for Fusion.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and many thanks for joining us for the premiere of Fusion Marketing's 30-second cinema ad. Our ad is designed specifically for the home user of the Seiko coffee machine. We've added humour and romance to an everyday situation. We do hope you enjoy, and we'd be happy to answer any questions following the screening.
Is that you, love?
Yeah.
Could you run down and get me a cappuccino?
No problem, love. I'll take care of it. Thank goodness for One Touch Coffee. What's all this? What?
A little bit of Italy in the comfort of your own home.
I can't wait to tell the girls about this.
We'd be happy to answer any questions you have now.
Elements of that ad made me think about a poor 70s porn movie. I expected the bow wow, chicky bow wow music to start at one stage.
We were thinking more Godfather than the other. It is supposed to be tongue-in-cheek, and if that's what you think of and it makes you tell people, then great.
Okay.
How do you think your ad has used the visual and sound elements, particularly of cinema, effectively?
Obviously, we have like the music coming in. We have the sound effects of the machine actually as it's going off. And personally, I love when they do the little cheers kind of thing, and just the Italian actually flow to the music. We think will grab people's attention.
One last comment in relation to branding, and he was drinking, there was the brand of the cup on the bottom.
That's something that may have slipped our attention. There is a slight piece of branding, but it is very small, and hopefully people's attention wouldn't be on the bottom of the cup at that stage. Thanks very much, guys.
Thank you.
Elevate screening next, and Barry is going to present.
They're all looking very well. Our concept is based around an icon of inspiration. He leads the way. Sorry. My apologies. Our concept is based... I had this all. Sorry. My apologies. Sorry, lads. Okay. Okay. Yeah, just... Sorry. Sorry.
Our concept is based around a personality.
Sorry, Paul. Our concept is based around an icon of sophistication, just like the new range of Seiko coffee machines. We hope that the coffee-loving people of Ireland will enjoy our ad and visit Harvey Norman and experience the technology and taste of a true icon. Thank you.
Machine arrived?
Yes, I have it.
From Q?
No. From Avi.
Satisfactory?
Exceptional.
Turn it on. Show me.
Welcome home, darling.
Philips Seiko One Touch coffee machines.
exclusive to Harvey Norman.
Beautiful coffee.
Open the floor to questions.
Can you guys explain to me which one of you decided that it was good to just use half of our brand name?
Oh, you mean...
So you used Harvey instead of Harvey Norman. Can you explain to me why, your thinking behind that?
It's the James Bond figure, you know, and we just thought it would be nice, slick, and a bit of a change in the norm to say, not Q, Harvey. So I do think it ties in pretty well, and overall, to bring in the slickness and the stylish, it worked well.
I see a very distinctive Italian motor car brand, and the entire thing is based on a franchised movie brand. Did you think about the intellectual property that you were using there?
Well, in terms of the James Bond, that's why we didn't go down the route of actually referring to him as James or James Bond. The car itself, it's something to look into, definitely, but we did like the fact that it was an Italian model of a car, and in terms of financials, it's something we'd have to look into.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Time now to travel to the boardroom and prepare to meet Bill.
Afternoon, candidates.
Afternoon, Bill.
So let's start with Elevate. Niamh, how did you find Panos?
Yeah, Panis was a good PM. Judging on the results, I think we have a great ad at the end of the day, and we got everything we wanted to done, so yeah.
Will, was he a good leader?
Definitely Panos stepped up to the mark here. You know, he delegated quite well, and everybody knew exactly what was done and needs to be done to achieve the ultimate goal, which was the ad. So I do think it was very good PM.
Barry.
Obviously, there was moments where I wanted to kill him, but that happens when you're under pressure. It was more me than Panos, but I did work well with him.
Barry, as I called him lots of times, he's like a greyhound. He just runs with the speed of light, and people have sometimes to stop him to understand exactly what he is doing.
It sounds like you weren't watching the other pair at all, were you?
Normally, in every task, we have issues of somebody not answering phone calls. But yeah, we did have a few factors. At times, I could not communicate with them, but I don't think it was completely their fault.
Talking of communication, how do you find Will's communication skills?
One small problem that I find with Will is the way that he communicates information at times.
Well, that's what I'm asking you about.
It's not very concise. Well, it's not. Sometimes it needs a lot of time in order to get to the point.
I think everybody communicates differently, and some people just speak different than others. I mean, I wouldn't say it's a major problem or anything. I mean, some people talk differently than others.
Brian, is Will a good communicator?
Will has a little difficulty in communicating in a concise manner, Bill.
Just on that point, Bill, yeah, you know, I might not get to the point at some stage during conversations, but I do think I am a good communicator, but I'll take that on board.
I think you've got to bear in mind what you're hearing here.
Definitely, Bill, yeah.
So this is a James Bond-themed advert.
Yeah.
Did you ever see anything like that before?
The only milk tray guy when he's breaking into the house, I suppose that would be something similar.
Marks and Spencer's, Omega watches, the UK National Lottery. Not just tens, but hundreds.
Really?
Did you not go on YouTube and research it for yourself before you decided to go down that road?
No, we did not research it because we were really excited that this idea is the best. Yes.
So you thought it was the first time anyone thought of using the James Bond theme?
No, I just thought that this theme really answered keywords that we were given. It's certainly not original, and if the people from Philips thought that that's the most important bit of the whole cinema ad for something to be original, certainly that's one bit that we haven't answered correctly.
Tell me this, what were you pair doing while these were on the focus?
We were going to the location of the church town to sort out the picture.
How much was the poster, by the way?
It was 120 quid, Bill.
And I didn't see a feature anywhere in the ad.
We had an idea and we were going to use that photo, but it's just our better idea was the James Bond theme.
And I know that it's bad because we did spend your money, and I certainly have to put my hand up for that. But I did not want to go along with this idea just because we had spent that money.
Panos.
Yes, Bill.
Why on earth did you allow Barry to do the presentation?
This morning I felt really low on energy because I felt that the script wasn't good enough. So I felt it's better if I let Barry do this presentation.
You lost confidence in yourself, Panos.
I did.
You're the project manager?
Exactly.
And you backed off from it?
I didn't back off. I wanted to give you something that was better than what I was going to give you. And I realised that. And I did, even after the presentation, I was absolutely gutted. And I said that this is completely my responsibility.
So with that, you still took it on board?
I did, Bill. And it was a train wreck. It really was a train wreck. And I'm embarrassed about it. I really am.
You fluffed the presentation, Barry.
I did.
Because you're trying to do too much. Shared it around. That's what teamwork is all about. So I put Ciara in charge over this side of the table. Jamie, how did you find Ciara as project manager?
We had a few issues along the way, but I think she did her best.
Is that it? Summary in two sentences?
I know, like Ciara herself.
I asked you specifically, how did you find her as project manager?
She maybe feels that I rub her up the wrong way, and that I think therefore she kind of doesn't maybe listen to what I have to say. So she's probably one of the more difficult PMs that I've had to work with.
Michelle, how did you find her?
And we had time management, organisation and delegation issues throughout. But Ciara absolutely...
So you're saying she's no use?
She wasn't...
Why don't you just put it down on the ground?
I just think
you're saying to me she did 100%, but...
Ciara did roll her sleeves up and do absolutely 100% her best. I just think that this was a big task and it may have been a bit too much at times.
Did they pull their weight?
I think that Michelle was like my right arm. She was absolutely brilliant. Jamie, I felt, was extremely negative from the off. He could be very disrespectful and not just because I was PM, just in general, and quite rude at times.
Rude?
Blatantly out and out rude, yeah.
So, Jamie, you gave the focus group your idea. What did they think of it?
They didn't like it at all, Bill.
To be honest, I really loved the idea that we'd come up with. I felt that after the focus group that it did need to be tweaked in places, but I really honestly felt that it didn't have to be changed completely. And I mean, if I'm wrong, it's on my head.
And how many models did you book?
4.
And I only saw 2 in the ad.
Yeah, they weren't used.
So
they were used, but the scene wasn't used.
It was something that I found hard to lose, but we edited it out in the end.
I was never in any way in support of having the shot at the end outside of...
But you've got 4 models.
That's where my problem was, and that's where I think Ciara mentioned that I was rude earlier. What happened was we were spending €100 for 2 models that were going to be used for at the most 3 seconds. I said it's absolutely ridiculous. I thought it was completely against our strategy. I thought it was underhanded what was done, and I didn't like being deceived, and I thought it was very bad for him.
It wasn't done intentionally or underhanded in any way. Jamie was going off the head, and I said to him that I was the PM, that at the end of the day the final decisions were mine to be had. And to be honest, to be spoken that way, I found it completely offensive and very rude and very, very unprofessional.
Listen, Bill, if I don't agree with something, I'm not going to just say, oh yeah, I do agree with it. That's not me.
So you thought you were running the show, is that it?
No, I clearly wasn't running the show, but I was asked to direct the show.
Michelle, you're backing off on this, right? I'm very conscious of that. And
I just don't know what
I don't know
say.
whether you're still in this to win or not, because it just seems to me you've been sitting around. What were you doing all the time?
I was asked to mind the models.
I have to say...
Oh, you were asked to mind the models?
That was the exact words. I was constantly busy. There wasn't 1 second that I wasn't doing something.
So why do you just discard Michelle?
I have to say, Michelle played a blinder for me over the 2 days, Bill. I couldn't actually fault her in any way at all. She was an absolute
meet and greet the models takes 5 minutes.
It does indeed, but she had to do the presentation up and she had phone calls to make and stuff to organise for us. You know, Michelle did a lot of running around for us over the 2 days.
But she wasn't involved in the shoot upstairs either for the afternoon. She wasn't involved
any way whatsoever.
in any way.
I wasn't involved
Why?
at all.
You were the director. Why?
It was because Ciara had asked her not to be there. Now, we would have been out of the restaurant a lot earlier had we had camera and sound men at 9 o'clock.
Why hadn't you got them there?
It was a complete oversight on my part, but what Jamie was saying, that shooting at 9 o'clock, there was no way we were going to be able to shoot at 9 o'clock. The cameraman was there at 9:15, half 9, and the cameraman was there at 9:15 and the sound man was there at 9:30.
The sound guy got a call at 9:05. He was in Thurman-Feckin. I don't even know where
That's
that is.
Loud. It is.
Like, so if he made it from Loud to the Beacon
to
at 9:30, I don't know what, he must have been among those helicopters.
It certainly wasn't 9:30, Ciara.
No, I thought it was like 9:45 because the keys for the penthouse suite came at the same
You couldn't
time.
get from Thurman-Feckin to where you were.
Impossible.
Absolutely.
It was more like 10:15.
Yes.
Well, it's back to time management again on this task. Here we go again. I just don't know what happens with us. The result. Unfortunately, for one team, I received exactly 0 positive comments. And usually there are pros and cons. And today is definitely a first. So for that very reason, I'm not going to drag it out much further. Elevate. You went with the James Bond themed advert. Being done so many times by so many brands. And the very reason that it is used so frequently is because it works. So Elevate, you're this week's winner. Thanks, Mike. Thank you. Thanks, Jeff. And for your prize, you've won an adrenaline-filled courtesy day with Extreme.ie. So I sincerely hope you all have a head for heights. Off you go and enjoy yourselves.
Thanks.
Thank you, guys. Keep it on.
Oh, God.
Please go outside and I'll call you back in later.
Guys, you're very welcome here to Extreme.ie.